In our society, there is a huge influence of technology in everything we do. But technology is only produced thanks to a highly creative society, a way to approach our challenges through creativity, imagination, and curiosity. This is where art and technology comes together.
The relationship between art and technology has been somewhat of an uneasy one, wavering between tension and collaboration. Traditional fine art fans have been wary of the use and abuse of new technology, and techies have been resistant to the pure creative influence of art. But with society dealing with pressures like identity and privacy, our lives have become entwined with technology, and this has become fascinating to artists and technologists alike.
Technology has so much influence in our society, and it's increasing. We are measuring how technology is shaping culture, but also measuring how culture is able to shape technology.
In this series, we explore the art, artists, and institutions that give a platform to work sitting at the intersection of art and technology.
This exhibition tries to give people a sense of time, to make them realize that whatever happens today is going to be responsible for what will happen 1,000 years from now. And we will be responsible. We are part of that change.
And investigate the questions that matter not just to artists, but to us all. In this episode, we explore 3 fascinating exhibitions showcasing art and artists who produce work that not only questions our world, but also suggests a blueprint for the future. We will meet a diverse mix of artists and curators and navigate the big ideas they've put on display for the world to see. At CCCB in Barcelona, Monica Bello transports us into the world of quantum physics and CERN. In Milan, Paola Antonelli discusses how machines can help us reconnect with nature at the 22nd Triennale. And from Ars Electronica, Martin Hoznik discusses how technology has entered its midlife crisis.
Ars Electronica in general has been doing one thing for the last 40 years, it is humanizing technology. We are very good in mediation, in didactics, and I think art is able to find interactive, playful models where we could experience the risks and the chances of technology around us.
On their 40th anniversary, Ars Electronica are using this year's festival to question the digital revolution, turning to artists, scientists, and even biohackers to reassess the role of technology in our lives today and in the future. Festival director Martin Hoznik and artist Sarah Petkus discuss the social and ethical implications of granting technology more autonomy, and in some instances, even handing over total control.
I think that a lot of the things that we create, a lot of the things that we take the time to produce as humans regarding technology, they're rooted in our own self-interest. And like they say, necessity is the mother of invention, right? And I think that it's really important that we step back and we take the time to really address why we're doing what we're doing and how we are relating to the thing that we've created, because the way that we treat it and the way that we plan to use it says a lot about ourselves.
Art and science is such an important thing for our humankind, and we think that we need to include a lot of our societies into this future development. The outcomes of our projects is actually meant as an invitation to discussing the meaning of that use of technology, that cultural change, or that artistic expression.
Technology has the potential to be infinitely more connected than humans do. There's like this fundamental problem with being a human, and I think this is why we have artists. It's that I can't hook my mind up to you and show you what I'm thinking. I have to tell you with words or make a piece of artwork and hope that you somehow extrapolate from my words or my art what I'm trying to communicate, what I mean, what I'm about, what I'm saying. We spend most of our lives just doing that, but machines, computers, AI, if they're hooked up to, say, the internet or some other method, protocol of communication, they don't have to do that. so they can adapt and make decisions infinitely faster than us.
The industrial and digital revolutions have catapulted our world into the realms of what was once considered science fiction. However, a closer dependence on technology has caused a rift in our relationship with nature, according to the artists and curators of the 22nd edition of the Triennale Milano.
Broken Nature is an exhibition definitely about sustainable design, but more than about sustainable design, it's about restorative design. It comes from the idea that we have severed, we meaning as human beings, we have severed some of the ties that connected us to nature, the many different ties. Along the century, some are completely severed and irreparable, some can be mended. There are many different ways to consider our presence in nature, and there's a lot that we can do as designers, but also as citizens, to try and reconstitute these ties.
Paola Antonelli speaks to celebrated artist Bernie Krause about how technology helps us understand our impact on the world.
Bernie, how important has technology been for you? Because you've gone through many technologies. Thinking about it, you started out probably with Dolby.
No, I started out with a violin.
Absolutely. So so tell me.
Technological instruments have always been a part of my life, but I've always used technology as a tool. I learn what I have to learn operating these different kinds of technology, and then I forget about it. I don't think about it. It's like driving a car.
Which is the right way to do it. I mean, it's something, you don't let technology drive you.
No. It's knowing your technology well enough so that you can render magic as a result from whatever your medium is.
One of the things that Broken Nature does is to highlight the role that technology can have in solving some of the problems of our era, of our age. At the same time, Broken Nature makes a point about highlighting how technologies are not necessarily the solutions to all our problems. In fact, I personally think that technologies are a means more than an end, so they don't necessarily define the content, but they provide a framework. And it's our responsibility to use them in the right way.
Paola has opened a window on a very, very delicate and crucial issue, which is about how we could deal with climate change from the perspective of design. Not simply to describe the tragedies happening everywhere by climate change, but it's at the same time an attempt to suggest a large spectrum of possible solutions.
There are 7 different habitats that are represented in the major part of the piece, and 6 of those habitats no longer exist. So we've lost them. And the reason we've lost them is mostly because of human endeavor, whether it's global warming or whether it's land transformation, resource extraction, whatever it is. The reason that those habitats are no longer there is because we've decided that they weren't valuable to us, but they really are.
They are, and it's interesting because we have destroyed them using technology, probably for technology. But what is interesting is that you are using your vision, aided by technology, to highlight these points in a way that is incredibly effective.
What is reality? Who are we? And what is the nature of the universe? At CCCB, 10 interdisciplinary projects between scientists and artists are proposing new ways to perceive, interrogate, and engage with the world, and in turn, answer some of life's big questions.
We believe art, technology, science are interlinked, and they are talking to each other as fields of research and exploration of our world.
As arts director at CERN, Monica Bello has helped connect artists to the work of engineers and physicists at the very cutting edge of science and technology, with a show that seeks to translate the projects created from this partnership into a show for the people. She sat down with co-curator Jose Carlos Mariátegui to discuss the project in more detail.
Something I learned from this experience and through the years, observing artists working with art and technology and trying to make sense of what is the impact in society, is that artists are interpreting reality in another way. And this reality is very influenced by technological and scientific developments.
You work in the most sophisticated research environment in the world where there are all these very abstract discussions, but we need to bring those abstract discussions into the lay public conversation, and that's a big challenge. It's a big challenge from a curatorial perspective, and also trying to be sure that the artists are understanding what they are getting from the conversation with the scientists. But also it's good, I think, for the scientists, that what does the artist bring to CERN, broadening these discussions and generating this type of conversations that are very rich conversations among both parties.
We are not a museum, we are not a center of art, we are not a museum of science. We like to talk about what's culture nowadays in our society. With this exhibition, we wanted to talk about the importance of the quantum imaginary in our cultural life.
All of us, in different ways, trying to figure out what reality is and how nature is seen through the lens of science and technology, but still there are many questions to be asked.
Still there are many questions, and this is a place where we want people to see things in different ways, to be critical about what they are perceiving about reality.
Technology has created a seamlessly connected world. A global experience, rather than a local one, has emerged as a dominant theme in the work of today's artists. This means topics such as climate change, our relationship with artificial intelligence, and quantum theory are the subjects that artists are interrogating using new tools built on digital technologies. But does that mean topics such as love, family, and society are being forgotten? The short answer is no. While some artists argue that technology is allowing us to create stronger bonds with our world, it has undeniably altered our definitions and expectations of the same. So why have a human child when you can have a robot one?